the radish.com, you should be able to find information about where the farmers markets are, as well as the Illinois and Iowa extension offices should have listed where the local farmers markets are. I know there's in East Moline, there's in Bettendorf, there's in Bluegrass. Iowa City has a great one. They're all over the place. So find out where your local one is. The Freight House Farmers Market, I love it. I drive from Fort Byron every week to come to the Freight House Farmers Market because of the variety that they offer and the experience of being there. It's great. I love the atmosphere. It's really a great place to be. I can't say enough good about that. I do want to make a note to tobacco users in our crowd. If you're going to use tobacco, please come to the outside of the crowd. Do not have smoke congested in here with people who are very sensitive to it. I really appreciate your understanding, and I know that we're a health-conscious crowd, so let's make sure to keep those who are ultra aware of that. Let's make sure that they stay safe, they stay comfortable, and please, just tobacco users, move to the outside of the crowd to have any tobacco, please. Thank you very much.
Now let's have a little respect.
I'd like to... And use organic tobacco.
Get that organic tobacco.
I got off of the chemicals that were in the Marlboros that I was smoking. It's amazing how addictive the chemicals are, and the tobacco's addictive as well, I will admit that. But the chemicals are really a huge part of that. But that's another story entirely. I would like to introduce a great farmer, somebody I'm just getting to know and I want to get to know more. Cindy Heilmann is of Heilmann, Hawkey, Acres. She has a CSA available, and she has a great speech that she's going to let us hear now. So give her a great round of applause, guys.
Hopefully you'll be able to hear this. I'm pretty loud spoken anyhow.
That is the
Put it closer to your mouth. Okay, here we go. How many of you guys have the newest cell phones with all the...
This is federal all-inclusive. This is federal.
How many have
What's federal? This is federal.
You're being recorded on one.
Paper with it. They were
the one that's going to make the most amount of money.
So this is the federal. This is Illinois specific.
15 times $7 an acre, that's $105. If you have a 500-acre farm,
There should be an information sheet on what all that's available. So
farmers are just like everybody else. They want to get the most out of their buck. That's why they use Monsanto products. Okay? It's
this one is
my grandparents and parents say when I was a kid. Well, here goes. I was fed Thymet, which I think was an insecticide around in the planter. And we had a 4-row corn planter that we put the pink corn in. Dad would pull it with a Massey Ferguson tractor. We never planted soybeans and always had hay, which we baled in small bales and filled the barns every year. I started driving the tractor when I was 5. In a low gear, just turning the key on and off so my mom and my sisters could pick up ear corn. When I got older, I would haul loads of corn and quart silage, filling our silos to feed our cattle and pigs that ran around on acre lots and all had barns to go into to get out of the elements. Now industrial egg farmers have to use tractors big enough for all the hydraulic fluid to put down their 24 corn row planters. Farm kids are not supposed to drive these tractors until they're 17. Everything is equipped with computers and GPS. Farmers have been in accidents because the GPS systems are set within 6 inches of accuracy and they get bored and fall asleep. There are a lot of tractor rollover ditches because farmers just fall asleep. Even though GMO was supposed to mean less chemicals, I now see more than I ever have in my life. I don't ever remember planes flying over my head with chemicals on them when I was a kid. Chemical sprayers are now longer than farmers' houses.
oh my gosh.
We are threatened by the farmer-less tractor. John Deere is running tractors with GPS. ADM processes 375,000 bushels a day in the Clinton plant. I'm guessing they make $10 a bushel. and I know of 6 plants. So think how much money ADM is making every day.
They lost 40% this last year.
But what is scary is they have bought the land in Comanche, from Comanche almost down to Shafton Quarry. I know the guy that owns the last bit of land, and they're almost trying to condemn the land to get it. These companies are now buying farmland. We don't have to worry about Monsanto pretty soon. It will be Continental, Cargill, and ADM all raising our food without even having farmers. They'll just sit in an office and push buttons. Does everybody know how GMO is made?
Yes.
Everybody know? You want me to explain it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. They decided that they wanted tomatoes to last for 2 weeks. So they decided there was a fish that would last 2 weeks on the shelf. So they took a cell, they made it sick with botulism, a tomato cell. They inserted the fish DNA into it, marked it with an antibiotic, cloned this, and that became the tomato seed that now will store for 2 weeks.
Breaking food! No more breaking food!
No more breaking food!
Now, what the Roundup does, when you put Roundup on your field, it will go into the weed and it will strip all the iron out of the plant, and that's what kills that plant. So you have no micronutrients of iron in your corn plant or whatever you have. So now we have no micronutrients in our GMO food. We don't have copper, sulfur, whatever they decide that Roundup should be on that trait for that corn or that beans. So now we don't have copper, sulfur, manganese, boron, iron. None of this is coming into our food for our animals and ourselves. So we have 20% hatches in our chickens and calving problems in our cattle. So what is this doing to us if we're doing the same thing to our body? I met a farmer's wife that told me her immune system was all screwed up. I asked her if she ever used fresh garlic. She just looked at me confused. I asked her if she had a garden, and she said no. We always had a garden on our farm. I don't know how many quarts of green beans I've canned in my life.
That's Illinois specific.
So now comes the hard part.
This is
You have the best tools
That's
right
this is Illinois.
here.
And this is
You don't have to
Iowa
fight
and Illinois.
Monsanto. It's time for you to be proactive. Women worry more about the color of their lipstick than the food they put on their kids' table. And guys, don't let me get started on sports. You have the perfect place right here. You don't have to worry about cross-pollination or planes or helicopters flying overhead with sprays. Planting green beans the first week of June, July, and August. Split a bale of sphagnum peat moss in 4 and plant 4 blueberry bushes. Raspberries are easy to grow. Reliance, Contender, and New Haven peach trees are great for this area. Fresh peaches are unbelievable.
Make sure they're not
Plant blueberry
GMO
on
though.
each side of your fruit trees so you don't have to mow close to them. Tomatoes and peppers are always a good start for beginners in the garden. Go vertical with Oregon snow peas and cucumbers. Lettuce and carrots can be planted in pots. Plant your garden and mulch as much as you can. This keeps out the water and you don't have to weed. So here are some of the things I would like to see in the Quad Cities in my area. People planting gardens again. Take the money you save from raising food and pay off a charge card. Or save money that helps buy a car instead of making payments. Have a neighborhood garden and supply a food pantry with a freezer and fill it with garden food. Or plant gardens for homeless or anyone to pick with signs that say, the only rule is pick when right. People planting heirloom seeds, trees, berry bushes, flowers, and trading seeds when they have extra. Watch when buying plant because as in food, GMOs are in vegetable plants. Even tree rootstocks are now genetically modified. Buy seeds from seed savers. And nobody probably knows about sandhills. Does anybody know about sandhills in Kelmis? They're 40 miles away from here. These people were from Oregon. They supply Fedco. They supply everybody all over the nation with open pollinated seed. from catalogs only offering safe seeds, making sure they are not GMO or treated. Heirloom seeds will produce more after becoming adapted to disease and insects in our area. The longer they are here, the better they become. Our great-grandparents brought over seed in their hats and hems of clothing to make sure they had food when they got here. They did not have money for seed. We have lost many varieties of seeds because people do not garden anymore. New York City has a 2.5-acre rooftop garden. They figured out that in a year they saved 1 million gallons of water going down on the street.
Wow. Awesome.
They also have beehives that bring in $40 a pound for honey. The bees do not have to worry about the sprays in the city as much as I do in the country, and they have flowers blooming every day. I had honeybees for years and never got stung. Now I have bumblebees and they're a little more vicious. In Florida, there is a place where 20 veterans returning from Iraq or Afghanistan are healing from post-traumatic stress syndrome by gardening. In 6 months, most leave healed and are trained for a job instead of walking the streets homeless.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chicago has a bakery with a year-round heated greenhouse on the roof from the heat left over from the ovens. They use all the food in the bakery. Dan Carmody was just here and I missed him speaking, but I did meet Will Ellen at the organic conference in Des Moines. He said they put up a high tunnel every 2 days. Their sales this year hit $4 million.
Wow.
They used cemetery land that was being mowed all the time. Empty lots became vegetable gardens, and neighbors began to neighbor again. Compost was being made with worms using 80,000-pound truckloads of waste that would go into the dump. Fish were being raised by warm water heated by methane tanks. They also bought an old, unused fish processing plant. They cannot raise enough yellow perch for all the restaurants in the area. Plants can be raised on walls, in tiers of 3 layers around the yard. Lower lettuce, higher blueberries, esplanade with fruit trees. I've seen quite a garden around a 12 by 12 patio. Belgium gave 6 hen chicks to anyone that wanted them. Their garbage went down by 1/3. Cedar Rapids has classes and you can get a permit for this. Chickens are the best composters. I agree, no roosters. I would like to see the Quad Cities go in this direction. Children using outside gardens for classes such as science, history, art, and math. Food is raised and then taken into the kitchens where the students prepare it for lunch. They have raised it, learned how to cook it, and enjoy the flavors of fresh fruits and vegetables. On the other hand, Monsanto is sponsoring our colleges and high schools. In Missouri, it is the Monsanto School, not the Missouri Agriculture School.
Boo!
My granddaughter's in high school and is being taught how to raise corn and soybeans in FFA. If we don't teach our kids, Monsanto will.
That's right.
You can volunteer at the Quad Cities Food Hub. There is much work to be done and it takes time. I would like to see the different organizations have a central spot to advertise classes and events as many people don't get the paper. We need education. I need help to organize the first organic seminar in Davenport, the Quad Cities. I have gone up to the organic seminar, Moses, for many years in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Ames, Iowa City, Cedar Rapids have access to organic information, but around here there is a desert. We need to get information and networking offered to people here in eastern Illinois. Money talks, as she said. How you spend your money is the way the economy grows. Everything in your home will probably end up in a landfill. Ask yourself, what is it that I'm buying? Is this that important? I try not to shop. About the only things I buy in the grocery store is organic filling, milk, and bread. Try raising as much food as you can for you and your family. It's safer. These things I would like to see in the future. It takes organization. But most of all, it takes you. Each makes a decision every day. It is no longer they or them. It is me or I. What am I doing to make a difference? Thank you.